Good evening and welcome to the Urban Debate. I am Ritangshu Bhattacharya. Ladies and gentlemen, it's said as a cliche that the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Well, in politics, it seems recently that the way to a woman's vote is through a purse. At least that seems to be the case in Indian politics. It was the Ladli Behna in Madhya Pradesh. Then it was the Ladki Bahin in Maharashtra. Both achieved grand electoral successes in those states. And now it's the Mahila Sammaan Yojana in Delhi. Yes, the party that many believe kick-started the entire freebie culture is back at it again in Delhi just when it seems that others have cottoned on to their act. Arvind Kejriwal today announced a new scheme for Delhi's women in which he said that rupees 1,000 will be deposited in their accounts every month with a promise to double it to 2,100 if his Aam Aadmi Party wins the election, which is expected in February. Now note, firstly, that this is for women who do not have any regular income and not beneficiaries of any other schemes. He also said that the initial payment of 1,000 rupees cannot be credited because in a few days we expect the model code of conduct to be put into place. So the money will only be transferred after the elections. Listen in to the former Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party convener.
आज मैं दिल्ली के लोगों के लिए दो बड़ी घोषणाएं करने के लिए आया हूं। आज मुझे ये ऐलान करते हुए बेहद फक्र हो रहा है कि आतिशी जी की अध्यक्षता में आज सुबह 10 बजे दिल्ली सरकार की कैबिनेट मीटिंग हुई और उस कैबिनेट मीटिंग में ये प्रस्ताव पारित कर दिया गया कि दिल्ली की हर महिला के अकाउंट में हर महीने 1,000 रुपए डाले जाएंगे। महिलाओं ने कहा कि जी महंगाई बहुत ज़्यादा हो गई है, 1,000 रुपए से काम नहीं चलेगा। तो आज मैं ऐलान कर रहा हूं, कल से रजिस्ट्रेशन चालू होगा और रजिस्ट्रेशन 2,100 रुपए का होगा, 1,000 रुपए का। अभी बीजेपी वाले ये भी कह रहे हैं पैसे कहां से आएंगे। यही बात वो तब भी कहते थे जब मैंने पिछले 2013 के चुनाव में जब मैं लड़ा था 2014 में, तब मैं कहता था बिजली फ्री कर देंगे और बीजेपी वाले कहते थे केजरीवाल झूठ बोल रहा है, पैसे कहां से आएंगे। मैं बीजेपी वालों को कहना चाहता हूं, मैं जादूगर हूं। मैं अकाउंट्स का जादूगर हूं। मुझे पता है कि पैसे कहां से लाने हैं, पैसे कहां से बचाने हैं और पैसे कहां से लाने हैं और पैसे कहां पे खर्च करने हैं। तुम चिंता मत करो।
अरविंद केजरीवाल जी को कोई रोक नहीं सकता है और जेल से आने के बाहर लगातार दिन रात हमें मार्गदर्शन देके आज दिल्ली के कैबिनेट ने ये स्कीम पास कर दी है। इसका रजिस्ट्रेशन जल्द ही कुछ ही दिनों में खुल जाएगा।
फाइनेंस पे क्या असर पड़ने वाला है दिल्ली के, कितना पैसा आपको निकालना होगा और कैसे आप उसे एडजस्टमेंट करने वाले हैं?
आप 2013 का समय याद करिए, जब आम आदमी पार्टी पहली बार चुनाव लड़ी थी और हम कहते थे बिजली हाफ पानी माफ, उसके बाद कहते थे हम बिजली फ्री करेंगे। कोई हम पे विश्वास नहीं करता था। दिल्ली में लाखों परिवारों का बिजली का बिल इस महीने और पिछले कई महीने, पिछले कई सालों से जीरो आ रहा है। करके दिखाया कि नहीं दिखाया? उसी तरह से दिल्ली की हर महिला को अब तो 1,000 रुपए नहीं, सरकार फिर से बनने के बाद 2,100 रुपए की सम्मान राशि दिल्ली में 18 साल से उम्र की ज्यादा की हर महिला को अरविंद केजरीवाल जी और आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार।
बजट नहीं बताया आपने कि बजट कितना लगेगा दिल्ली सरकार?
जितना बजट लगेगा उतना बजट दिल्ली सरकार के पास है।
उसका क्या जवाब होगा? ये आप गुमराह कर रहे हैं क्या?
जैसे हमने गुमराह करके फ्री बिजली दी, जैसे गुमराह करके फ्री पानी दिया, जैसे गुमराह करके अच्छे सरकारी स्कूल बनाए, वैसे ही गुमराह करके हम 2,100 रुपए हर महिला को देने वाले हैं।
Now you heard the Delhi Chief Minister say budget है इसका. Now let's see budget कहाँ से आ रहा है. This will cost the exchequer 945 crores a month. 45 lakh women are estimated to be beneficiaries, eligible beneficiaries. Everyone gets 2,100 rupees post February if the Aam Aadmi Party wins. It will go out to 945 crores. Now earlier in October, Delhi was projected to go into deficit for the first time. Delhi's earnings was projected to drop from 64,142 crores to 62,415. Revenue was projected to rise from 60,911 to 63,911. So Amdani is less than kharcha. So where is this budget going to come from? But it's not just the Aam Aadmi Party that has been doing this, and we are at pains to show this. This is a tried and tested winning formula, not just in Delhi, but everywhere else. This particular scheme of giving out financial payouts to women who do not have a regular income started with the former Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister Shivraj Chauhan, who started his Ladki Behla Yojana. That was about 1,250 rupees per month payout. Then it reached Ladki Behan Yojana, that was 1,500 rupees per month payout in Maharashtra. We both saw that great lot of electoral dividends in both Madhya Pradesh and Maharashtra. And now it's the Mahila Sammaan Yojana that was initially 1,000, and I apologize for the figure, it's 2,100, not 21,000. That's a mistake, we'll correct it on our end. 100 to 2,100, that is the Mahila Sammaan Yojana here that's been in Delhi. It's a similar model here. The payout has been increasing 1,250, 1,500, 2,100. Now, when we asked the newly elected Chief Minister of Maharashtra about how Ladki Behan Yojana fits in with the criticism of Revdi culture, which the Prime Minister has done multiple times, this is what Devendra Fadnavis had to say at the India Economic Forum today. Listen in.
लाडकी बहन जैसी स्कीम जो है, प्रधानमंत्री का एक विजन है कि फ्रीबीज नहीं होना चाहिए, लेकिन ये लाडकी बहन स्कीम जैसी स्कीम्स अगर आप लाएंगे तो क्या ये महाराष्ट्र के डेट पर इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा, आपके इकोनॉमिक इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर पर इम्पैक्ट नहीं करेगा? ये एक बड़ी डिबेट है, इस पर आपका क्या पोजीशन है?
देखिए, ये निश्चित रूप से एक बहुत बड़ी डिबेट है, लेकिन प्रधानमंत्री जी का एक विजन और है, और वो है विमेन सेंट्रिक इकोनॉमिक पॉलिसीज। और मैं ऐसा मानता हूं कि सोशल सेक्टर में आप जब इन्वेस्ट करते हो और उसमें भी विमेन सेंट्रिक पॉलिसीज पर जब आप इन्वेस्ट करते हो तो आपका जो सोशल रिटर्न है वो थोड़ा तेजी से आता है। और हम लोगों ने यही प्रयास किया। ये जरूर है कि जिस समय हम सोशल सेक्टर का स्पेंडिंग बढ़ाते हैं तो उसका एक कैपिटल इन्वेस्टमेंट पर उसका एक बोझ आता है।
So, without any further ado, let's go across to my guests who are joining me at this point. I'm very happy to be joined by Shubh Malhotra, spokesperson of the Aam Aadmi Party, Dr. Niyama Gupta, spokesperson of the Delhi BJP, Dr. Pooja Tripathi, spokesperson of the Congress Party, and I'm also being joined by Vijay Sardana, senior economist here. Let me start off first with Shubh Malhotra. Now, Shubh Malhotra ji, the former chief minister said, I am a jadugar, main jadus karke le aata hu. Now, the point is, everyone understands who's not a child that a magician does not create a pigeon out of nowhere. That pigeon is hidden and somewhere kahin se chup chupa kar aa jata hai. It's just a deceit which is pulled onto the audience at this point. And the beauty of accounts is that at the end of the day, it all tallies to zero. So from somewhere this money is coming from. And the point is that it will be taxpayers who will be spending this 945 crores per month if the Aam Aadmi Party gets elected too. So is it not robbing Paul to pay Peter?
No, absolutely not. It is not robbing or anything. It's just giving the taxpayer their due in this country. And I think Arvind Kejriwal is the only leader, only politician in this country who's actually thinking about giving back to the taxpayer when they give taxes to the government. Now, I feel that it is sacrilege actually to compare a scheme like that has been announced in Delhi today, the 2,100 transfer to the women of Delhi per month, to compare it with election gimmicks like Ladki Behan, etc., which was announced like maybe 6 months, 8 months before the elections, and now they are in talks to discontinue it in Maharashtra. In any case, they should not be able to be announcing such schemes with a budget that has a fiscal deficit of 2 lakh crore. That is in Maharashtra. So it shows a lack of fiscal prudence on their part. While, Arvind Kejriwal is definitely a jadugar because since he has become
your
CM
budget
of
is
Delhi,
also in deficit.
He has.
Delhi is also in deficit.
No, it's not in deficit. They are saying that it is projected to be. Now, this is all fear-mongering, I'm sorry to say. In 2013, when we came to power in Delhi, the budget was only 23,000 crores. And it is only because of honest governance of Kejriwal that despite providing free electricity, despite providing 24/7 electricity, making our government schools better than private schools, providing free bus, free pilgrimages for senior citizens, year after year, we have been able to give a positive budget. And today, the budget has been able to be increased to 75,000 crores. It is a feat that has only been achieved in Delhi, despite having all of these social welfare schemes, which I challenge the BJP spokesperson or any other person from BJP sitting over here, that in all of their 22 states, have they been able to implement such schemes and run a positive budget? They will not be able to answer. And it is only and only the ethos of Arvind Kejriwal that the people vote for. That is why people of Delhi have continually voted for him. And it is not just with respect to these social welfare schemes, but he has taken a hands-on governance approach in Delhi. He has put infrastructure in place. He has improved the PWD work. He has worked upon the MCD that the people have given him faith in him. And we expect that all of this is going to flow in the coming elections. And I am talking to people every day, and they understand that there is a concerted attempt to stop all of these schemes that Kejriwal ji is doing by, hurling all sorts of accusations or calling this an election gimmick or whatever. But this man, I tell you, when he in the March this year, he said we will give only 1,000 rupees. But then
But ma'am, he also said in Punjab, the party, I think we've lost your audio there.
Am I audible?
Okay, we got your audio back, but we got your point. You extended a challenge to the... No, we've got your audio back. But nevertheless, I want to get in my other panelists as well. You extended a challenge to the BJP spokesperson, Niyama Gupta. Would you like to accept the challenge? One thing I can say is that at least the BJP today has no locus standi to criticize the concept of a Revdi freebie, because that's exactly what's happened in Maharashtra. And we heard Mr. Fadnavis ji said that when it comes to women's security, when it comes to social schemes directed at women, this is not a freebie. You get the returns back very quickly in terms of development. So the Aam Aadmi Party is doing the same thing.
Good evening. Thanks for having me on your panel today. Just to say, amidst all the celebration, what the former CM and Aam Aadmi Party leader have announced today, I'd like to remind them of a few things, not just which are important, but absolutely crucial to this decision. First off, the sequence of the events. I hope you all know that the proposal to give the women of Delhi 1,000 rupees per month was actually passed a few months ago. And this was during Delhi government's 2024-25 budget. Since then, nothing has happened. And today, when elections are a few weeks away, they suddenly announced the schemes passing and increasing the amount to 2,100 when and if they come back into power. And their argument is that BJP is against giving money or, schemes to women, even though it does so in the same states. Just want to say that they've answered their own question. The BJP is not against giving direct benefit transfers to women or any other group that requires it. For that matter, the proof for this lies in the fact that the very concept of DBT was started by Modi ji back when he came into power in 2014. Let me finish. Our state, as well as the central government, has been giving direct transfers to various groups for years. And it has changed the lives of millions. So no, we are not against this. Look at some small example. The BJP had implemented a similar Mahila Sammaan Rashi scheme in Madhya Pradesh, Odisha, Haryana, and in Maharashtra. It was implemented long before the elections. And you saw the results in terms of the beneficial part of it. We are not against. What we are actually against is your leaders constantly bickering about things and making promises that they have no intention to keep. 2,100, why is it a problem? Look, as you discussed earlier, look at the budgetary concept within Delhi. While it's a very rosy picture as they projected, look at the forecast of 24-25, which while the initial budget inclusion, please pardon me if some of the digits are off, inclusion of additional, the inclusion estimates were about, I think there were 3,200 crores, and the possible inclusion of the additional demand of deficit was 1,400 crores. The financial situation of Delhi government as outlined by the budget.
Figures aside, I think we can establish that Delhi is projected to go into deficit.
Just give me a minute more. Just give me a minute more, please. Just let me summarize my point. I know you might be pressed for time. The most important point, however, is that when you make promises, you don't wait to execute them. Mr. Kejriwal is saying he's a magician, but let's just see what happened in Punjab government. They came into power in 2022 with the exact same scheme for women for 1,000 rupees a month. It's been 3
Yes, they
years.
did.
Nobody has got a single amount of rupee. It's been zero. What have you done when it comes to promises? Whether it comes to reviving the Yamuna, controlling the pollution, cleaning the garbage, transportation, water, roads, you name it. This has not been done. So to come across and make a challenge to me while your former CM and present CM is making a promise
Okay.
which
Now,
doesn't suit
I've
the
heard your
technical
point,
part of
Niyama ji.
government.
Now, just answer, and I will put that across to Shubh Malhotra also, who wants to come into that. It's a direct point, and I will get you now. And I also get Dr. Pooja Tripathi as well, and Mr. Sardana as well. Answer a simple question, Niyama ji, in 30 seconds if you can. You are saying that this has been something which the BJP has pioneered. Perhaps yes. But tell me, how is it different from the Revdi culture which the Prime Minister's criticized? He has said thousands of taxpayers write to me, and I'm happy that a major section is gearing up for a culture free of Revdis. Revdi is dangerous for the development of the country. People of the country, especially the youth, need to be careful of this Revdi. So when you offer it, it is welfare schemes. When the other parties offer it, it's Revdi.
You have to see the whole gambit of situations. We are doing employment creation, infrastructure development. Solely just handing over cash is not going to solve Delhi's problem. It requires a multi-stage intervention that doesn't seem to be their focus at all. Apart from that, when it comes to center and state, look at the different schemes given to women, whether it comes to strengthening women of self-help groups through their economic independence, whether it comes to launching, and everything is not done according to election dates. Over here, look at the critical condition. You're saying, I'm giving you 1,000 rupees now and 2,100 if and when I get back to power. Are you strategizing or scheming? There's a fundamental difference between them. Overall development of women is a pioneer and primary concern of the central government as well as the state governments where BJP is in power. So there is a fundamental difference in intention and execution.
I will get Shubh Agarwal to respond to Shubh Malhotra, beg your pardon, to respond to that. But let me also get in Dr. Pooja Tripathi. Dr. Tripathi, we have all seen this culture start, and I would say one of the pioneers in this culture of guarantees and promises what happened in Karnataka. We have seen it in Himachal. Yet in Karnataka, we have reached the point that where every day we are running some new form of revenue generation coming in terms of garbage or in terms of water, in terms of hospital bills, things are being changed. It's transparent that even the Deputy Chief Minister and the Chief Minister have admitted that they need to generate more funds. Himachal Pradesh government is broke in as many words as this. We have reached situations where governments who are literally broke are being forced to promise because this is an election tactic which is working. Worked in Madhya Pradesh, worked in Maharashtra, has worked in Delhi before. And obviously, the Aam Aadmi Party hopes will work in Delhi at this point. But at the same way, every party comes and says that, no, my welfare system is different and mine is coming out from the magical Scrooge McDuck's treasury and everyone else is looting the country. How is this possible?
Ritangshu, before I answer your question, I want to correct Bharatiya Janata Party spokesperson saying that direct benefit transfer was introduced by Government of India on January 1, 2013 to streamline subsidies and reduce the leakages. And so BJP should not hop on to take credit. And BJP is in a very cross-fixed situation when it comes to where is Prime Minister going on abusing Revdi culture and saying that, this is kind of a toxic poison to the country. And state after state, we see them giving out cash benefits to women. Being Ladki Behan Yojana, the Ladli Behan Yojana, everywhere. And it has given them electoral benefits. It's crucial to see here as a politician that they are approaching the women voters with. But I think you have to move away from, when you talked about Karnataka, there was a social audit of the Shakti scheme in Karnataka, which went on to prove that the labor force participation rate, and there's a huge gender gap in labor force participation rate when it comes to men's participation at 83% and women somewhere lingers at 31%. And it has reduced the labor force participation rate, the gender gap in labor force participation rate in Karnataka. And that's where, when you dole out benefits to women, I think it sets on a roll. And never ever we have called it Revdi, we have called it this. This is something that governments are entitled to do, and governments have to make a budgetary provisions for it, because they are there at the end of the day, they are for the government.
So you don't see anything wrong with what Mr. Kejriwal is doing?
Looking at Aam Aadmi Party, 2022, they promised 1,000 rupees to the Punjab women and not a single penny has been delivered. When he says, I'm a magician, I can get money, we have to understand in the last 31 years, for the first time, Delhi is facing the acute financial crisis. It is on the basis of fiscal emergency. It has gone into, as you just showed through figures, it has gone into deficit. And now when you say, and Delhi is a union territory, it can't borrow it. And going on to say that my 1000 se 2100, what did Punjab women do? Punjab gave you a brute majority. What did Punjab women do? Don't they deserve their 1,000 rupees, which was promised in 2022? And now it's almost 2 years and they haven't got it. So I think political parties should stop. There have been problems. One shall be honest about it. There have been problem of revenue generation when it comes to states. There have been GST. There have been issues of GST compensation. There have been issues of states sending 100 rupees and getting some 6 and 13 rupees back. And there have been issues both with Himachal and Karnataka. But the social impact of these schemes have been huge, and it's good that politicians. But I think it should not just be an election. It's elections around the corner and just go on to announce.
So there are two aspects to this. Okay. So what Dr. Tripathi was saying is that there are two aspects to it. One is about promising something which you have shown that you are not going to deliver, which is what seems to be the case with the Aam Aadmi Party in Punjab, and also in Delhi over the 1,000 dole, which as you and the BJP guest have pointed out. So I'll come to Shubh Malhotra. You have 2 minutes to come up with a counter to that. But the other aspect is where I also want to get in Vijay Sardana at this point. Vijay Sardana, all politicians, including, we just heard Mr. Fadnavis say that when it comes to social welfare, especially for women's empowerment, it's important to put money in and not look for immediate financial ROI at this point. My question is, money cannot be created out of nowhere. That money is coming from somewhere. And the money is coming from the salaried middle-class taxpayer who politicians love to squeeze till the last drop. And that money will come from our pockets, if not from a direct taxes, if not from indirect taxes, then from some form of cess and added revenue gathering fees or something like that. So is it not a point that there's a very dangerous electoral trend that's come in, that in order to appease, I mean, I don't even know whether you should be using the word appease, but in order to maximize a section of the vote, you constantly rob that same cash cow again and again and again?
First of all, good evening to you, fellow panelists and the viewers. See, there's no fun in argument. Let's go with the numbers. We are talking about Delhi. These are the Delhi budget numbers. Give me a minute. Let me read out. The budget of 2024-25, you read the text. It claims that in 2022-23, somebody was claiming that Delhi had a surplus budget. The surplus budget was only 0.4% of state GDP. Okay? How they achieved surplus? Now, this is important for everybody to understand how people are fooled by politicians in this country. Irrigation and flood control. You know, Delhi is a problem of irrigation and flood. Budget was reduced. Actual, whatever they claim is a budgetary document. How much they were able to spend, I'm just going to narrate it. Then you will understand how Delhi is paying the price for these political freebies. Irrigation and flood control, minus 66%. Welfare for SC/ST, minus 66%. But whatever allocated, they had no money, so they had to cut down the expenditure. Water supply and sanitation, minus 51%. Rural development, minus 44%. Agriculture and allied activities, minus 21%. Health and family welfare, minus 16%, which is world class they talk about. Education, sports and culture, minus 19%. Social welfare and nutrition, minus 12%. Transport, minus 9%. Other roads and bridges, minus 12%. Energy, minus 5%. Housing, plus 1%. Police, they have added, actually it is basically the government of India's responsibility, Delhi policing. Urban development, they have increased to 150% because of Juggi Jhopdi concept. What was the implication? Their Sharab Niti actually reduced the state excise from 9,500 crore to 5,500 crore, minus 42%. That was the great, Sharab Niti of Delhi. This is government of Delhi budget document. It's not my document. What I'm trying to say is that people have a tendency to fool, give the news headlines, you make promises, people give them a vote. After that, If they don't have money, they say, I don't have money, I'll not spend. So you have a today broken distribution system, bad water quality, bad roads, bad juggi jhopdi ecosystem, bad schools. Even High Court says you have not paid even for basics for 6 years. For 6 lakh students, even pencil and basic stationery, there is a case in High Court. All your hospitals, so-called word hospital, see what High Court says. Your casualty machines are dead and non-operational. Go and do it. My point is that nothing comes free. There's nothing called free lunches. You want to give them a freebies, whatever way you do it, ultimately people of Delhi has to pay. They will get poor quality, bad service, non-availability of service when it is required. So it is nothing free. And please understand, no politician pays 5 paisa from their pocket. This you have to always keep in mind.
Yes. Yes. So, Shubh Malhotra, I started with asking you, are you robbing Peter to pay Paul? It seems that not only are you robbing Peter, but you're not also paying Paul. Because as your other panelists have pointed out, in Punjab, you made a similar promise in 2022 before the elections to pay 1,000. You changed it to 1110. You have not paid it so far. Very recently, the Chief Minister said that it's his mission to execute it. Even in Delhi, the promise you had made in the beginning of the year, you've still not done it. And more importantly, you're saying that we'll only do it, this 1,000 also we'll do it after the elections, because in 15 days the election is going to be announced here. So you've not even delivered on this promise, and the ethics of this promise is an entirely different matter altogether.
No, I think this is misconstruing the facts a little bit, because when you speak about Punjab, then I will request you not to second guess the government. They have performed exceptionally well with respect to turnaround of the healthcare system, turnaround of the education system, just like what they have done in Delhi.
I'm not someone who says facts are not facts. Okay, we all know. Can you please answer my point? Have you paid has that 1,000 rupee payout which has been promised by the Punjab government given out or not?
Yeah, so the people have given 5 years to the Punjab government to execute it. So why are we questioning the mandate of the people? So if they have started with the schools, and if they have started with the healthcare, they will surely come around to this. They are procedural things. But with respect to this particular 2,100 rupees per month transfer, Kejriwal ji has said registrations will start from tomorrow. They will start from tomorrow. This is Kejriwal ki guarantee. This is not some frivolous promises and election mongering by Modi ji. And it is the registrations will start from tomorrow. 1,000 rupees will start coming, and 2,100 as promised per month will start coming. So this is what has happened historically also in Delhi. Free bus, he said he will give. He has given free pilgrimages. He said to senior citizens, he will give. He has given. They used to laugh at us. How will he execute this? But we are the ones who are running this with a positive budget. Whatever fear mongering BJP wants to do with respect to the future of the budget, let them do. But they are the ones who are actually having 2 lakh crore fiscal deficit in Mumbai and trying to appease voters with Ladki Behan scheme. They are the ones who are running negative budget in Madhya Pradesh and wasting taxpayers' money on.
I wish you could see all our panelists. They're all smiling at your statement. And I'll get in you at this point. You said Kejriwal ji ki guarantee, which means by that same logic, even this 2,100, say Aam Aadmi Party wins in February, even this 2,100, they have till 60 months, they have till 55, 56 months to not send it, and towards the end they'll say, okay, now in the next election in 2020, we'll change it to 3,000 plus, and we'll only bring it after elections.
No. See, you might find it a laughing matter, but it is a very serious matter for the women of Delhi. And I will request all panelists to treat this seriously and not laugh at the women of Delhi. I will request you to consider this is a thing of respect.
No, we are not laughing at the women of Delhi. We are laughing at the arguments coming from at this point.
Let me complete. If he has said that registrations will start from tomorrow, they will start from tomorrow. Just like he said that the private schools will be behind government schools of Delhi, and he has executed it. Just like he said that we will stop power cuts in Delhi, he has provided. Just like he said that we will make Bijli bill half, but he has actually delivered zero bill to lakhs of families in Delhi with 24/7 electricity. So the same manner, this will also be executed. And if he has said that this will be done from tomorrow, then it will be starting from tomorrow, and all the world and all of these people in the panel who are laughing at the women of Delhi, they are going to see it be executed. Actually, they should be ashamed of themselves before they are laughing at Delhi. It is rich to listen to them talk about the rights of women.
You are smiling yourself.
Raman talk about respecting women, because look at what has happened in Manipur, and not an eyebrow has been lifted. by the Bharatiya Janata Party. Look at what you have done with the women wrestlers, and not an eyebrow has been lifted by BJP. And you are talking about rights of women and transferring money to women, which of course in Maharashtra now we know that the scheme is in discussion to be about to be stopped. Because of lack of fiscal prudence, they started schemes in Himachal.
So let me just be very clear. Nobody is laughing at the women of Delhi.
I mean, you said it.
Nobody is laughing at the women in Delhi. We are all having an enjoyable discussion at this point.
You are the
we are
one
all having an enjoyable discussion at this point. Let me get in Niyama Gupta. Point is Niyama. Okay, fair enough. Niyama Gupta ji, the fact is that, well, you may ridicule, you may criticize, you may castigate the freebie model of Delhi, and we may all call it a question mark. But the point is they have been working. And they have worked spectacularly in Delhi more than anyone else. Janta Ki Adalat gives Mr. Kejriwal 60 plus in the last 2 elections. It's a fact. The point is that by also coming to a cash handout, which is not what the previous schemes you had pointed out from 2014 were. Ladli Behna and Ladki Behan were the first case of direct cash handouts being given. Has the BJP not lost the moral grounds to criticize the Kejriwal government here? Because if you literally, it's becoming, if you can't beat them, then join them at the same game.
You know, that's such a, that question just doesn't hold good in my mind. Look at the unreliability of the guarantees given by Mr. Kejriwal and his crew. As I mentioned earlier, did he revive the Yamuna despite promises? No. Did he control the pollution? No. Did he increase the transportation to 5,000 buses? No. Did he clear up the water? No. Did he take care of the roads? No. So look at the past track record of the person we are talking about. Look at this timing of the scheme. I mean, just prior to the elections you're coming up. Look at the non-implementation of the set scheme in Punjab. Now, if you are here comparing, I would request the Aam Aadmi Party person not to make so many facial expressions, so she misunderstood the humor before this. The Delhi Finance Department itself had opposed this, by the way, because it would create an interest burden of about 57,000 crores, an unimaginable number, on the government purse, which is not a small amount. So when you are doing all this, you have to keep in mind the whole ethos of the environment of the fiscal part as well. And I mentioned earlier, there has to be a lot more for women empowerment to do, provide jobs, give infrastructure development. Solely giving cash is not the solution. It requires a multi-stage intervention and to a very micro level of not putting burden on the state.
What solution have you given in Manipur, ma'am?
Can I finish, ma'am? I didn't interrupt you.
If you are commenting on my facial expressions, I will surely comment on this. What solutions have you given in
No,
Manipur?
ma'am, I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt you. Can I finish?
Have you even been able to name even a single state? I asked you, out of all your 22 states, have you been able to name a single state where free electricity is being provided, 24/7 free electricity is being provided, free buses being provided, free pilgrimages are being provided? Have you come to on any of this?
You have mentioned
what
a
are you
scheme
talking
which
about?
you have not honored in Punjab.
What
and
are
you managed to? And
we have honored everything in Punjab. Well, you are talking about Yamuna. What about Namami Gange, ma'am? What has happened in Ganga? What are you doing? What is your right to question
Shubh
and
Malhotra,
give
let Niyama Gupta speak. She did not interrupt you. Let Niyama Gupta speak.
No, but she
Niyama Gupta,
commented on my facial
Shubh Malhotra, let
expressions,
Niyama
so
Gupta
that is
speak.
why
But
I
Niyama
had
Gupta,
to
answer the charges which... Okay, fair enough. You have made your interjection. Niyama Gupta, answer, but answer what Shubh Malhotra was raising.
My question to you is, while talking about women and the scheme, which has failed in every miserable way in Punjab, how do you plan to put it in execution, keeping in mind the budget out here, number one? And one very simple question. Why did Mr. Kejriwal take 10 months to give cabinet approval to this Rashi, which he first announced in Feb? Why is it happening just prior to elections? That's it. If you can answer that to me.
Yeah, fine. Can I answer?
Yeah.
Yes, answer, but I need to go to Pooja Tripathi, so please answer quickly.
Yeah, no, I'm finding it pathetic, the political myopia of Bharatiya Janata Party, because they are the ones who put him in jail. And I know that this announcement was made in March, but it had to be put on hold because they are the ones who put him in jail without having a shred of evidence. These are not my words. These are the words of the court while granting bail to him. And after he came out, not only did he say that the 1,000 rupees will be transferred, but he increased it to 2,100 per month. So this is the kind of man that Kejriwal is. He's the only one who is supporting women in reclaiming their space in society, which unfortunately Bharatiya Janata Party has not been able to do. In fact, the crime in Delhi, the only subject that they are, the one thing they have been given as per the constitution of Delhi, the crime and the law and order in Delhi, they have not been able to handle it. Delhi has the worst crime rates against women in India. Against women.
Okay. Before this comes down to election rhetoric, and we are going to get a lot of that over the next 2 months when Delhi is in full-fledged election mode, I need to start wrapping up this debate. So I'll go across to Pooja Tripathi. Dr. Tripathi, at the end of the day, we can discuss whether schemes have been implemented, people have been cheated or not. At the end of the day, Janta's Adalat is supreme. And as long as people continue to vote in the name of these handouts, whether it be Congress ruled states like Karnataka, whether it be BJP ruled states like Maharashtra, whether it be Delhi ruled states like Aam Aadmi Party, there's nothing wrong with these schemes. So on what basis do we criticize any of these schemes from each other's parties?
We never criticized it. I told you the government is entitled to bring up social welfare schemes. You cannot go ahead and criticize Revdi culture and call it toxic and then hand out cash doles to women in the states that you are undergoing, that you are going to elections with. But I think women of the country need much more, political signaling rather than just 1,500, 2,100. Women need, when 86 rapes are happening in the country every day and 3 rapes are happening in the National Capital Territory of Delhi, I think women are asking questions. Why are streets not lit up? Why are public toilets not available? What is the state of women's security when Nirbhaya funds remains unutilized? When Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, the budget is spent only on advertisements? What is the state of women's security? What is government doing to skill up women? What is government doing to reduce the gender gap in labor force participation rate? I think these are the major questions that women need. Women are, it's good that parties are exploring the opportunity of attracting women voters, but women need solid policy measures.
Okay, Pooja Tripathi, Dr. Tripathi, I think there are some network connections at your end. So unfortunately, I'll have to cut you short at this point, but we do get the gist of your point at this point, and your point has been noted. Vijay Sardana, I'll let you have the last word after listening into all the political guests. The point is, and I see as a very unfortunate trend. Yes, giving out financial handouts has a social benefit, has a social purpose, especially to women who don't have income of their own. It's an altruistic purpose, and especially if they're getting electoral benefits of it. I mean, who is going to question the party? But at the end of the day, who will be looking at the coffers? Who will be looking at the final picture? If you give a woman who has no other financial means a handout of 1,200, 1,500, 2,100, the chances are she will be out of gratitude voting for you. But who will be looking at the bigger picture? Can we expect parties to look at the bigger picture and even risk electoral gains, given that this has turned out to be such a blockbuster method of ensuring electoral gains? And can any party be expected to look at this and say that, no, we are going to risk this because we're going to ensure that the state remains financially healthy?
See, we have to understand that what is the interest of women in the society. They are concerned about the welfare of the family, mainly kids. I'm reading a statement of 26th April 2024 of Delhi High Court. And everybody should do it because you can download. The High Court of Delhi on Friday rapped the Delhi government for stalling the projects in national capital and non-supply of books and uniform to children studying in MCD schools, observing that government is just interested in appropriation of power and nothing is working at ground level. This is observation of Delhi High Court. So women of Delhi, those who are bribed for vote, let me put very clearly, there is nothing called welfare. If their kids are not getting basic uniform and education, and this is called word class, and this is High Court document, it's not my document, then we understand that what is the welfare agenda of Delhi government, and court very clearly says, we are only talking and enjoying power, doing nothing on ground. And it is very clearly those who are living in Delhi. So women of Delhi are technically bribed to vote. There is nothing called welfare here. So please differentiate between welfare for voters and bribing the voters. There is a difference. So what is going on in the name of freebies is actually a bribing. There is nothing called welfare. If there is a welfare, then whatever you promise in budgets, at least do it. So you are not doing it. Whatever their kids are suffering, You only bribe them to get the vote. This is the conclusion of the discussion.
All right, we'll end it on that. I firmly believe that the voters of our country have shown time and again, and I would like to stick to that optimistic belief that they can't be bribed beyond a point. And if they realize that they are not being given due promises in terms of roti kapda makan and corresponding benefits depending on the socioeconomic class, no matter how much cash you hand out or no matter how much promises you make, at some point they will realize that. And I hope political parties also understand that they can only continue to piggyback on this latest cash offer, cash dole system till unless they don't back it up with tangible benefits and tangible delivery on the ground as well. Well, thank you so much, Shubh Malhotra, Niyoma Gupta, and Dr. Pooja Tripathi for joining me on this debate. I had a lot of fun in this discussion, and I hope our viewers have also understood a lot from this discussion. Thank you so much, Vijay Sardana ji, for having the last word. It's time for a short break.